So I just kind of think it's weird that you are inserting yourself into a conversation that has absolutely nothing to do with you, honey. And your fat phobia is showing. It's showing. And it's weird. I think it's weird.
Hello, YouTube, and welcome to the Body Honesty Project. My name is Lydia, and today I am weighing in on the Leo Skepi internet drama. Yes, I know this is old news, and this news broke several weeks ago, and the whole fat acceptance movement has erupted over it. And yes, I know you're probably already sick of all the videos you've seen on it. But I didn't get to weigh in my 2 cents, so here's a video from me on the subject. For those of you who don't know, Leo Skepi is a known YouTuber who recently released and deleted a video to other fat acceptance people, telling them that they should not attack brands that don't make their clothing size, and should instead spend their time investigating the brands that do support their sizes and do make clothing for them. The message was really about doing something positive over doing something negative. But the fat acceptance community, and a lot of other social justice groups, have attacked Leo since for being fatphobic. Now, I personally did not see anything fatphobic about his message, but I also understand that some people see the fatphobia in the nuance. Now, this is a 3-minute TikTok, but I do feel the need to play it for reference. So if you've already seen it, feel free to fast forward ahead. But just so we know what we're talking about, here is the original Leo Skepi video.
A brand not making your size in something does not give you grounds to talk shit and degrade the brand. Brands are allowed to want a certain look and image with their products. They are allowed to make things for the people they want to make them for. I've been seeing too many people talking shit recently, and it's pissing me off. People are allowed to have preferences, and brands are allowed to create an image with what they want and have a specific type of person wear what they have. Not everybody needs to be catered to by everything and everyone. And this is a lesson I had to learn when I was fucking fat. I used to think clothes just weren't flattering. No, babe, the body wasn't fucking flattering. But a lot of brands don't make my size and a lot of shit still. And if a piece of clothing is not flattering on you, it doesn't mean the item or product is not flattering or is not good. It's not made for you. I'm a size 16 shoe. A lot of brands don't make my size. Do I waste my time and lend my energy and focus to what I don't want and what I can't have and attacking brands for not making my fucking size? No. Every single human being is very powerful. You have to be careful with where you put your attention and your focus. For you to stick your attention and your energy on what doesn't work for you, what is not made for you, and what brands don't want you to wear their fucking shit, you're never gonna have mental space to think and look for and discover brands that are made for you. You can't keep focusing on what you don't want and find what you do want. Get your fucking attention off of the shit that's not for you and the things you don't like. I'm never gonna find my size in shoes that I like if all I'm doing is sitting here crying how most brands only go to a 13. Fuck them. I'm gonna go buy the shoes that go to my size. But key point here, if my focus is nothing but stuck on the brands that don't make my size, I'm gonna feel nothing but frustrated, irritated, singled out, and pissed off. That's a waste of your energy. Being a human being is a very valuable experience, and it's a very precious thing. Don't waste your fucking time on the shit that's not for you. Don't let useless nonsense irritate you. I know social media has a big fucking mental illness of its own with contributing to people lacking perspective of what really fucking matters. Clothes not being in every single person's size is very, very minute and a very minuscule thing compared to what else is going on in the world. Maybe go the fuck outside and go experience some real contrast and see what other people are really dealing with and living with, and you might be a little more appreciative of your situation and the fact that you can go find other shit that does fit you. Brands are allowed to do what they want. I'm not saying they're right or wrong for discriminating. They're gonna do it. You bitching about it is gonna do nothing but ruin your emotional state and your mental state. That's what I wanna protect you from. I gotta be a little harsh with you because I love you. But get your fucking focus off the shit that ain't for you so you can find what is.
As I said, Leo had a lot of pushback after this video, and it wasn't just from the fat acceptance people. The argument that I kept on hearing about this was that if it's okay to discriminate against fat people, what's there stopping a brand to discriminate against race or sexual orientation? Well, I don't want to sound stupid here, but how do you do that? I'm being completely serious. Because if the clothing fits you, how do you discriminate against people not wearing it? I still fail to see how something not being available in your exact dimensions equates discrimination. We have people in this universe with many different body types. We have people in this universe with many different body afflictions. Burn victims need to wear special clothing. Amputees need to alter their clothing. There are various types of bodies that exist where the clothing market doesn't exist to suit them. Is this really discrimination? Or is it a store's choice not to specialize? Or a store's choice to specialize in something that is not that size? Now, in my opinion, these arguments were all pretty silly. I mean, as if discriminating against how many sizes you sell is going to trickle into, oh, I'm not going to sell to Black or Asian people, or I'm not going to sell to burn victims or people in wheelchairs, or I'm not going to sell to transgendered people. No, I don't think that just stopping your clothing size at a 3X means any of that. But rather than get into all of those other reactions, I want to zero in on the Tess Holliday reaction to Leo's video. Because Tess seemed to have made her reaction without even watching Leo's video. Like, at all. Like, the questions that she poses and the pauses that she makes, he answered all of those things. You just weren't listening. And this is what's so aggravating. It really shows how the fat acceptance community only wants to hear what they want to hear. Not what's actually said, not what people are actually doing. No, it's really, really only what they want to hear. So, what I have for you today is I'm going to play the entire Tess Holliday TikTok, but I'm going to interject or restitch the video with clips from Leo's original video to show that he actually did comment and address these things. He actually did have an argument against whatever you're talking about, and his intentions were good.
A brand not making your size in something does not give you grounds to talk shit and degrade.
Oop. I don't think this is gonna go the way you want it to, bestie. I've seen you at many of parties, and I've seen you talking to a couple plus size TikTok baddies. I also know that you have been or have previously hung out with Teffy, who I know just like a little bit outside of this app. And I just like, and I'm not sorry, Teffy, in advance. I'm not trying to like bring you into this, but I'm just like a little confused that you have associated yourself around, I know a lot of people that would hear this take and be like, no, boo, weird.
People are allowed to have preferences, and brands are allowed to create an image with what they want and have a specific type of person wear what they have.
So I just kind of think it's weird that you are inserting yourself into a conversation that has absolutely nothing to do with you, honey. And your fat phobia is showing. It's showing. And it's weird. I think it's weird.
Not everybody needs to be catered to by everything and everyone.
I almost went up to you at the Savage Fenty party last year because I enjoyed your content and I was going to say hi. And something told me not to. The energy told me not to. And honestly, I'm really glad I listened to that energy because this is not cute. And normally I wouldn't make a video like this. I'm just sitting on my couch, watching Now That, editing some videos, just being a fat bitch. But I just think it's weird. I think that this take is just so weird. I'm baffled, honestly. I mean, what would you know about not fitting into clothes or having clothes that fit you?
I'm a size 16 shoe.
Is that something that you've struggled with or that you struggle with?
A lot of brands don't make my size. Do I waste my time and lend my energy and focus to what I don't want and what I can't have and attacking brands for not making my fucking size? No.
No, I was like waiting for you to say something, but I don't think I'm going to hear you say something about that because that's not something that you would know anything about.
A lot of brands don't make my size and a lot of shit still.
And as someone that has modeled and been on runways and worked for designers, I can tell you that they do want us in their clothes, the ones that have worked with us.
And you might be a little more appreciative of your situation and the fact that you can go find other shit that does fit you.
And yeah, maybe not everybody in the world kisses our fat asses, but there are designers that work with us. So, yeah.
You bitching about it is going to do nothing but ruin your emotional state and your mental state. That's what I want to protect you from.
I don't know what else to say because everything else is going to sound mean and I don't want to be like you.
I got to be a little harsh with you because I love you. But get your fucking focus off the shit that ain't for you so you can find what is.
But ew. Ew.
Let's start with the first argument that Tess made. And I call this one the "but you have friends" argument. So Tess went into detail to call out the other plus-size people or plus-size creators that Leo might have in his life, that Leo might be friends with, that Leo might support. And you know what? All of that can be true. But the insinuation that Leo has to have the exact same mindset as other people is a bridge too far. And I would even say it's a bridge too far for Tess to insinuate that other plus-size creators would have a problem with what Leo was saying. Because Leo didn't say he's against fat people. Leo also didn't say he's against fat fashion or the access to fashion that fat people should have. No, he didn't say any of that. He only said that it's more advantageous to you to focus your energy on the good things in your life and not the bad things. Focus your energy on the designs and brands that do make clothes for you, rather than picking on and bullying the brands that don't. So this whole argument of, you have friends that are also fat, and I can't believe that you would say this, is kind of stupid. I mean, I don't think that I have a single friend where I share 100% of the same opinions. Doesn't mean that we're not friends. It doesn't mean that we can't associate. It doesn't mean we don't get along and don't respect each other. It just means that there are going to be certain areas that we disagree on. It does not make Leo a fake person to have friends that are plus size, to support friends in the plus size fashion industry, and still also have this opinion that not all brands need to be meant for you. Remember, two things can be true at the same time. You can love and support your plus size friends and also think that brands don't owe you anything. Tess Holliday seems to think that if you belong to fat acceptance, you belong to fat acceptance groupthink. And maybe she's right. And maybe that's what makes it a cult. The next part I found really, really freaking humorous. And that's why I stitched it to death. The "what would you know about not finding clothes in your size?" He told us. He told us. And in a supplemental video, he actually also revealed how tall he is. He is 6'7". Okay, the man has a hard time finding clothes that fits him, and he drew attention to his shoe size. And I would gander that not finding shoes that fit you can be as detrimental, if not more detrimental, than not finding clothes that fit you. Because you have to wear shoes, and shoes wear out, and you could be stuck with no shoes. And what the fuck are you gonna do if you don't have shoes? He gets it. He understands it. He's even talked in other videos about making his own clothes because he's too damn tall. This is as close of an example as you can get to what you're facing. You can't find clothes in all the stores because of your size. He cannot find clothes in most of the stores because of his height, and he cannot find shoe stores practically anywhere because his feet are too big. This is the same thing. Why are you choosing not to hear his story? In fact, I would gander that his story is a lot worse than yours. But this is fat acceptance. This is delusion. This is only hearing what you want to hear and not the whole truth. No, just hearing what makes you feel good. Hearing that, oh, this good-looking thin man, he could not possibly understand what the struggles that I face when trying to dress myself. But not thinking that a size 16 shoe is really hard to fit. And how many options does he have for his feet versus how many options do you have? His story is not the same as yours, but you're not cutting him any slack. You're not giving him the same compassion as other fat people because his being different is not the same as your way of being different. Then Tess seemed to completely miss the point of the video. Leo was talking about not giving brands that don't make your size attention and instead give your valuable time and attention to brands that do. And then Tess took this as a time to tell Leo that, hey, a lot of brands do want to work with us. Yeah? That's what Leo was saying. Did you think that this was going, yeah, Leo, I'm going to show you other brands do want to work with us? Because that's what Leo said. Leo said, go put your energy into those brands. Don't waste your time on the other brands. Put your energy into those brands. So they're the, yeah, see, I showed you moment, mic drop that you thought you were doing. You didn't. He already said there are brands that want to work with you. Put your attention on those. And then she was like, oh, but I don't want to be mean because you were mean. Leo was truthful in saying that some things are made for you and some things aren't. If something isn't made for you, don't complain about it. What would you think if I walked into Torrid and was upset because all of the dresses were unflattering on me? Is that Torrid's problem? Or is it because Torrid makes clothing for an audience that is not me? And their clothing is not supposed to look flattering on me because I am not their demographic. It's not their problem, it's my problem. I don't need to make demands on Torrid to make clothing that looks good on me. Instead, I find clothing stores that do make clothing that looks good on me. And yes, you can say, oh, but Lydia, you're straight size. You can find your clothing size anywhere. Yeah, so that's the way it is. But just because I can find my clothing size in most places does not mean that you can't find your clothing size anywhere. I've been in the minority on skin tone forever. So I had to find skating tights and nylons from other sources, makeup from other sources. Did it suck? Yeah. But you know what? It exists, and that's where I'm going to put my energy. It does me no good just bitching about all the places that are not made for me. All Leo was trying to say here was take care of your mental health and don't put so much of your own energy into the negative parts of your life. Put more energy into the positive. And that includes thinking about what's made for you and not what's not made for you. But apparently that's all fatphobic. And I guess that fatphobic is just the word that we use now whenever we want to express fat honesty. So until next time, stay body positive, but also body honest.